Hi, I received a question about the Amtech Pyrography kit. This is the wood burning kit. The stock code is S1741. You can see here, essentially it looks like a soldering iron, but on the end of there, instead of there being a soldering iron bit, you get a number of marking tips. And over here, I've got the tray that comes with the kit, with all the various pieces in. So you've got various stamps, and I've got a stamp in here I'll show you in a minute. You also get a galvanized steel lettering template, and you get, very importantly, a stand, because this is going to be very hot, so don't put it down on a work surface. Just to show you what can be achieved, I did this earlier, and you can see there's various shapes and letters. And in the craft circle, it's quite a big business, I think, doing closed pegs or on wooden handled tools for presentations or Father's Day or Mother's Day or what have you. And so I just thought I'd show you one or two examples of using the kit. It is very hot, so don't allow your children to use this without your direct supervision. That will it'll melt their skin and their hands, so that is very, very hot. So supervise all children, and I certainly wouldn't let youngsters anywhere near it. If you have a pair of heat-proof gloves, something like that, I'd still recommend those. But providing you keep away from the end here or use a pair of pliers, then you're not come to any harm. But just to show you, I've got a cork table mat here, and cork will heat up very quickly. This is on you get two settings, you get 30 watt and 15 watt. 30 watt I would use for wood and pieces like that. Cardboard or softer material, you could switch it down to 15 watt and reduce the heat on the end of the tip. But just to show you, it needs very little pressure on cork. That's actually burnt, so it even needs less than that. So you can see I've got a triangle in a circle here, and literally the lightest touch and it burns. If we try it on the piece of wood, this will take a bit longer to put the mark in, but basically you can see you could put on a box, maybe a lid of a box, or even on a wooden coat hanger. You can actually spend quite a lot of time, depending on how much pressure you put on. You can see the triangular shape there. I'm now just going to change the bit, and because, as I said, it's very, very hot, I'm using a pair of pliers to unscrew the ends, and I'm going to put it down out of the way. The small bit here, which looks like the tip of a biro, this is the one you use with the lettering template. So I'm just going to put that into the end of the pyrography. And all the pyrography means is wood burning. And if you look on the internet, there'll be loads of examples of people doing all sorts of craft work with this. Okay, tighten that up in the end. It'll take a few, maybe 30 seconds to heat up, but that tip is very thin, so it won't take too long. And for lettering, you basically, let's say we'll do a letter U. You've got the template. Gently, you can either do it as little dots, so moving it very, very slowly, and then build up the depth of the burning in the wood, because that's what you're doing, it's controlled burning. So I've got a U there. Okay, I've done a letter U. Let's do number 2. And you just follow it round 2 or 3 times, and you'll see where it's burnt in detail, and then move it along to complete the letter. And if you're a fan of the pop band headed up by Bono, you'll know what U2 stands for. Many things you can do with it. I say you get the galvanized template, you then get a whole tray of different inserts. You can also, you get a hot knife one here as well, so if you were cutting plastic or wanted to seal the edge of a piece of plastic, you get this little attachment on the end here, which comes out, and that screws in the end, and then you take the blade out, move the tape, slot the blade into the end of the knife, then as you screw it into the end, it'll keep the blade tensioned and in place. And then if we had this screwed in here, you could then cut through or cut round through plastic, and the hot knife will seal the edges. And this is a standard blade, craft blade available. So there you have it, very useful kit, very nice pastime. Hope that's of interest. If you have any other questions, please go to amtechdiy.com and I'll look forward to answering them.